She turned to see the driverless Explorer rolling through the window toward her.
And we couldn't figure it out because we couldn't see beyond it, so we were trying to figure out how it got into the window with no driver in it. And so not until we were able to get out of the store could we see the other car and what had happened.
The woman driving the car was rushed to the hospital with a head injury. Authorities say this bizarre episode actually started on State Street and involved this pickup.
Well, it appears that we had a pickup coming out of a private lot there off of Glenwood, and the lady pulled out in front of this gal, and of course she lost control of the vehicle, and then I understand that the vehicle came to an almost stop, and all of a sudden the gas pedal went full to the floor and came across this parking lot and hit all these parked cars.
Alvina Adkins' car was one of the 4 that got hit.
I was in an exclusive salon getting my hair done, and all of a sudden the building shook.
But it wasn't until she prepared to leave that she realized her brand new Chrysler was wrecked.
Why would mine be in an accident when it's parked way out here?
It's remarkable no one else was hurt with so many people around. For Kim Marquis, it's a frightening reality.
I'm ready to go home. I'm just here visiting from out of state, and I think I'm ready to go home. Everything was a little too close.
Authorities have not released the name of the woman who was driving the car. Again, she suffered a head injury, and at last report, she was undergoing surgery at St. Al's. And Ron, right now, this accident is still under investigation.
A lot of lucky people out there. Thanks, Mike. 2 News reporter Michael Kuckler, live from West Boise.
A bit of good news for friends and family of 6-year-old Emery Haskell as her condition is upgraded from critical to serious. Emery was hit by a pickup in front of her home about 2 weeks ago. She was taken to St. Al's and has been in a coma in very critical condition for the past few weeks. A hospital spokesman tells 2 News while Emery is still in a coma, she has been moved out of the ICU, and again, she's listed in serious condition tonight. Police say the driver of the pickup was not at fault.
Lieutenant Governor Butch Otter is working on restoring some of that wetlands that federal regulators say he damaged. Otter still maintains he did nothing wrong while converting close to 3 acres of marshland on his property into a pond last year. But this was his 3rd citation for violating the Federal Clean Water Act, and that prompted the EPA to order $80,000 in penalties. Last night we told you about a 70-acre gravel pit the developers want to put in near Middleton. At a public meeting, a capacity crowd in Canyon County told the developers in no uncertain terms, we don't want it. 2 News reporter John Hannion's been covering this story. He has an update for us now from the 24-hour newsroom. John?
Well, Ron, believe it or not, that meeting didn't break up until well after 2 a.m. This was the scene last night as the Busy Bee Sand and Gravel Company tried to make their case for a gravel pit. About 15 people signed up to support it, but almost 100 signed up to speak against it, despite the fact that land planner Chris Cordy told us that the developer would construct berms and plant trees.
Would be planted around that site and also along the border, though the people I've talked to that neighbor here, everybody's house tends to want to look at Schaefer Butte, so we don't want a series of trees that would block their view of Schaefer Butte.
But concerns over noise and increased traffic in that area eventually won over commissioners who voted 5-2 to reject the plan.
I think obviously the turnout we had from the citizens, we didn't move in there thinking there was going to be a gravel pit. The gravel pit chose us after we were established, and I think that was what we felt. I think that's what the board felt, and I think they based their decision on that.
But the developers maintain this project can work in that area. They say it actually can increase property values because in a few years, those pits will be turned into lakes. But obviously, most of the people who live there remain unmoved. They think it's a bad idea, and they are just glad planning and zoning commissioners agreed with them. Ron?
But, John, in most cases like this, the developers, you know, have a right to appeal. Are they going to do that?
You're right about that. They have 15 days from the date the findings are signed to appeal to the Canyon County Commissioners, but as of right now, Cordy says he's not sure whether his clients will do that or not. We'll let you know.
All right, thanks, John.
Sure.
Reporter John Hannion, live in the 24-hour newsroom.
Boise's mayor did something today he hopes will help city employees with drug problems get help. But the method by which he's going about it has been criticized by some as an overreaction.
Gosh. Oh, my God. Yeah, I just been waiting for him, man.
We were waiting because the mayor asked us to be here to watch as he became the first city employee to volunteer to a random drug test. First, he provided a urine sample.
And blow hard. Okay.
Then he took a breath test and hoped others would follow his lead.
We're setting an example for our employees. We're setting examples for young people in our community, setting examples for other businesses in the city of Boise to step up and start drug-free workplace policies.
Under the city's new policy, people who work in safety-sensitive positions are required to take the drug test, like firemen, those who operate heavy machinery, and people who work with children. Cole says he hopes to soon be able to add police officers to the list.
We started our preliminary discussions with the police union. We're very favorable. We saw some very positive reaction. Of course, it's something that needs to be negotiated.
All other city employees are exempt, but Coles wants them to volunteer. He says the program's goal is not to get rid of those with drug problems, but to get them help.
It's much more expensive for us to recruit a new employee and train a new employee than it is to step forward and help an existing employee.
That's a very invasive procedure, to many very embarrassing.
But the ACLU's Jack Van Valkenburg says the mayor's policy is an overreaction.
I don't fault the mayor for his concern, but I don't think that a problem with drug use has been proven to exist amongst Boise City employees.
That we don't know, and only time will tell how many city employees are willing to follow the mayor's lead.
So far, there are about 400 city employees in the drug testing pool. 10% will be randomly selected for yearly drug tests.
Well, there's no disputing the latest snowfall up north was beautiful.
Fantastic, yes, but it certainly made for some terrible driving conditions as one highway turned into a slideway for drivers. We'll have details after this.
Ron Gardner, Melinda O'Malley, meteorologist Scott Dorval's weather, and Wayne DeZuback with sports. You're watching Idaho's 24-hour news channel. 2 News at 5:30.
The address is Idaho's Channel 2. Want a taste of faraway places without spending a fortune?